Sorry, I'm laughing because this has to be a joke. The word wife is an example of the type of language that we need to eliminate. And I'm just asking if that's something you think is necessary or something you support.
I'd have to give that one some more thought.
If there's a pilot who is offended by the word wife or the word cockpit, maybe that person shouldn't be a pilot. Rather than kowtowing to people who are fragile, maybe we should actually say, if you're so worried about the words that we are using, you shouldn't be flying multi-ton metal engines through the sky. I just ask all of us to maybe try to focus as much on real problems, like the fact that our aviation system seems to not be working as well as it used to, than the fact that we may use uninclusive or under-inclusive language.
People are offended and want to outlaw wife.
Word wife.
The word wife.
I thought, oh.
They found it offensive, and when he asked the guy, do you find that word offensive? The guy said, I'd have to think about that.
The word wife?
Wife. Wife. W-I-F-E.
Play that again, please.
Sorry, I'm laughing because this has to be a joke. The word wife is an example of the type of language that we need to eliminate. And I'm just asking if that's something you think is necessary or something you support.
I'd have to give that one some more thought.
If there's a pilot who is offended by the word wife or the word cockpit, maybe that person shouldn't be a pilot. Rather than kowtowing to people who are fragile, maybe we should actually say, if you're so worried about the words that we are using, you shouldn't be flying multi-ton metal engines through the sky. I just ask all of us to maybe try to focus as much on real problems, like the fact that our aviation system seems to not be working as well as it used to, than the fact that we may use uninclusive or under-inclusive language.
So
why is there a pilot that is offended by the word wife?
No,
is that
a
pilot term?
No, I think he used pilot as an example.
I think because he said the word cockpit and pilots would get offended by that, and he just grouped in the word wife as well with that.
But initially he asked the black guy that responded about a wife, and he said, I'd have to think about that. Yeah. In what universe do you have to think about the word wife?
The reason why...
As offensive. That's mad.
The reason why he has to give it more thought is because we are in a time in the world where you will get in trouble if you say or agree to certain things. So he's just trying to be careful with what he's saying.
I'm going to say this now because these people really get under my skin. If somebody is offended by the word wife, disown them, kick them out of your house, unfriend them, block them, remove them from your life. That person is not worth being around.
Yeah.
Or if you want to be a good friend to them and they're that fragile, maybe check them into a mental asylum. How can you be offended by the word wife? What is offensive about the word wife?
I mean, the word shouldn't be removed from the English language because it is a relevant word and a relevant term. I don't understand how it can even be classed as uninclusive, because if we're all about this inclusivity stuff, then that should be kept in there. So you're keeping women who want to be wives included. Why are you going to remove it?
Wife. Can you look that up, please? Is there something about wife that I'm missing? Wife. Is that like an acronym for something to do with an aviation system?
If husband and wife hold negative connotations for you, it's not your imagination. On top of being used in heteronormative, gender stereotypical ways, they actually come from old words that reflect traditional sexist views of marriage. Okay, so is it the root of the word?
You have got to be joking me right now.
But if husbands and wives exist, whether other people don't want to be classed as that,
oh my God,
I don't see why it needs to be removed.
People, what is going on? Do you know what I think is actually happening? I think that these trolls on Twitter realize that they've got these institutions by the neck, and now they are making them literally kowtow to everything they say. What's next? What is next? I'm actually wondering now, if the word wife and husband is offensive, what is next? Do you remember that Dr. Phil episode we did where they had all the words on the board that offended people, and mum and dad were up there? Mum and dad. Do you know how bizarre that is? I feel like I fell asleep and I haven't woken up yet.
They're just literally trying to cancel everything that's always been normal, when that stuff should all still be included. Because we're not non-existent just because there's other things going on now. Do you know what I mean?
How can you be inclusive and want to cancel so much? It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
That's where it doesn't make sense.
How can cancel culture be inclusive? Isn't that like an oxymoron or something? I think people have too much time on their hands. There's no other explanation for it. I can't even wrap my head around this. I can't give you guys a good explanation for why somebody would wake up in the morning and think that wife is offensive, and to be sitting in front of another grown man who asks you about the word and you say, I'll have to think about that. Are you so scared of this woke mob that you won't even say something like that is ridiculous?
Depends on what job he's doing, though. If he's got to protect his career, he's got to protect his career. But I think we've established that people are always just searching for a problem within everything.
Yeah, honestly, like if you're somebody that is offended by the word wife, I'm sorry, you're not going to make it.
There's never going to be an end to this. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse.
No, things will come full circle. There's no way this can keep going.
I don't know, with the way it's gone, it's actually out of control now. And every time I think it can't get any worse, it gets worse. And I'm actually just scared for where the future is heading.
Well, I mean, we'll still be here letting you guys know that people are offended by the word potatoes or meatballs or
meatballs. I can definitely see that being offensive.
Oh yeah, meatballs. Some dude's gonna be like, we can't say that anymore. We're gonna have to. What would we replace meatballs?
I don't know. So I would like to go. Can I please order your spaghetti and
balls of meat?
Beef. It's probably just gonna be beef.
People, you gotta find better pastimes.
Your round circular beef that comes with the spaghetti. Can I have that?
Do you know what I would suggest? Buy yourself a PlayStation. Go to the gym. Sign up to a martial arts class.
Go pottery classes.
Go pottery classes. Learn an instrument.
Actually, that's probably going to be offensive as well.
What, pottery?
Yeah.
To who?
Because in pottery, like sometimes when you put it on the thing and you're like, I don't want to do hand movements on camera, but there's just certain movements you do on pottery. Yeah, like fix it like that and you put your fingers in it. It's just a bit, people are sensitive these days, Michael. I don't know.
So are you saying if I went to a pottery class and I made a shape that looked like a penis, someone's going to get mad?
It's not even about you making the shape. It's when you're doing pottery, you've got no choice but to do it in the penis shape first, and then you're sticking your fingers in it like a, it's one of them things. And I just wouldn't be surprised if pottery just got cancelled.
Do you know what? Let's just let's cancel everything. Let's just cancel everything and exist on this floating rock. Let's just drift through space until someone like Thanos comes in and clicks us out of existence. You guys don't want it to be fun for anything. You don't want us to say anything. Anything we do is offensive. Oh, man.
No wonder why so much depression exists in the world these days.
Yeah, no wonder so many people are depressed. We live in a time of like rife depression. It's only getting worse. Pick better battles, man. I swear to God, if the word wife gets outlawed, I'm done. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I want to be a wife one day. Don't take that from me.
What do you think they're gonna call you? They'll probably call you the husband.
There's actually a few.
No, you can't. You can't.
So a linguist actually put forward her arguments of why they're not, let's say, appropriate words. The first argument was they just don't sound good because of the sounds that husband and wife, the words itself has. But the second argument was the connotations that I mentioned earlier, such as the old word usage of wife and where the word actually comes from, which in Old English just means woman.
Is it the patriarchy?
No, wife just means woman in Old English.
Is this the patriarchy's oppression? Oh, sorry, wife just means woman.
In Old English.
Yes, because women are wives. That's why. In Old English, it means that in New English.
So the implication of that is the primary role of a woman is just to be a wife, basically. That's the implication of that. Implication
of husband.
This is just way too sensitive,
Husband
honestly.
is apparently worse. From in Old English, it means head of household. And her other points were that it's problematic because of the sexist connotations, and just the mere mention of the word husband apparently conjures up images of the patriarchy. And the mention of the word wife evokes an image of a submissive Susie housemaker. I'm quoting her, by the way. And even the implications are ingrained in marriage ceremonies where the people are pronounced man and wife, as if he gets to stay a man, but she then becomes a submissive housewife as soon as they're married, basically.
Oh my
God's sake.
God.
And the last argument
Jesus.
is that it's not inclusive. Not everyone can use them, such as I think gay couples can't be.
But
husband and
that's
wife,
my
or they're
point.
husband and husband
They
and stuff
can
like
create something else that they want to use. That doesn't
And
mean
she
we
has
need to
actually
cut it
got
out, 'cause that's not
suggestions for that.
inclusive.
So instead of husband and wife, she suggests they use the word match
Oh, for God's sake.
plus.
But
No.
they can use that, and we can still use husband and wife because that's what we want to use. Why should we cancel out what we want to do?
In order to make them comfortable.
But they can make themselves comfortable.
No. Okay. If the argument is that you're uncomfortable, then I'm uncomfortable. So who wins here?
That's
If I'm
my
uncomfortable,
point.
why does your being uncomfortable supersede
Yeah, why
mine?
are your feelings more important than ours?
Yeah. If this is all about feelings and inclusivity, why is the word that we want to use getting pushed out and your one's being pushed in? I'm not calling anyone plus. This isn't a PlayStation. I'm not putting in the player 2 controller. You're my wife, and that's it.
I now pronounce
Some of
you
these suggestions
match
are
and
pretty
match.
funny, though. I'm not gonna lie. So, spouses one. That's a
That's
common
already
one.
a word, yeah.
Your person, your ring buddy, your primary mating companion,
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro.
your
We in a zoo.
your domestic co-conspirator. I like that one actually. I really like that one.
That sounds like two people from the CIA
I
got
love
married.
it. I love it. And your homie for life.
Your homie for life.
Yeah.
Am I incompetent, bro?
I'm over it.
Am I playing San Andreas? Oh, we're done here.
But I think what
Over
she's
it.
saying is this is for people that don't like the word themselves. I don't think she is saying every people that like the word and use the word should stop using the word. She's giving suggestions to people
I
that
hope
don't want to
so.
use the word, and she's explaining their side of the view of why they wouldn't like it. I don't think she's saying anyone that uses it, please
Can I
stop
just
using
say
it.
something? There is actually stuff that already exists, because I heard that if you call someone your partner, that's more when it's same gender relationships. That was more
Yeah.
so used for lesbians. This is my partner.
Yeah, that's what I've
Can I just
So it
Experienced.
already exists.
That's what I've experienced gay people calling each other
Yeah.
usually. But I've even heard a lot of straight people do use that word.
Yeah, I would say partner, but
Yeah.
but I'm sure back in the day when I was younger, someone pulled me up on it. Was like, you can't say that because that's for lesbians, and I'm like,
Really? Someone
Yeah.
called you out on that?
yeah, someone called me out on it. But this was years ago as well. Yeah.
Can I just say something? You said that the word husband and wife conjures up feelings of the patriarchy,
For certain people.
right? Feelings or memories of the patriarchy.
And
right?
it's the word husband specifically.
Were you possessed by a ghost? You don't live in them times, fam. You live now. You weren't born in the 1800s when you had to suffer through a tyrannical patriarchy scheme, if it did exist. What memories are you conjuring up? What feelings are you conjuring up? To the Gen Zs, they're the ones that are pushing this. What feelings are you conjuring up? You don't even know what the patriarchy is. You don't even know what it means. You don't have any memories of it oppressing. You weren't born in that time. You're just a bunch of time-wasting brats. You don't know what this feels like. You don't know what oppression feels like. You weren't born then. We're talking about the f***ing medieval times now. Turn the camera off, man. I'm going to blow a gasket in a minute.